Hey Virtual High School, let's talk about the ACT. What is it? Why should you care? And then let's talk about what the test is in general and what would you need to bring on test day. Up first, what is the ACT and why should you care? This is a standardized test that predicts how well you will do in college. The ACT has this down to a science. If you get a certain score on the English section, they can predict what letter grade you would get in a freshman English course in college. Also, it is a graduation requirement. So in order to graduate from high school in the state of Tennessee, you do have to take this test. But why should you care? Why should you care? The ACT is a way to open doors for you. Whether or not you want to go to college, it can open doors for you. But let's say you do want to go to college. It is a great way to get free money for college. If you can score a 21 on the ACT, which is super doable, you get $16,000 for college just through the Hope Scholarship. That's amazing. And most schools have other ACT incentives for their scholarships. For example, if you want to go to UT and you make between a 28 and a 29, they'll give you another $12,000. That's incredible. Now, let's say you don't want to go to college. Some careers right out of high school do ask for your ACT score. So it's a good thing to go ahead and try on that. Or let's say you want to go to the military route. They might ask about it as well. So it's a good thing to have that waiting there for you and having a good score. Also, let's say that you don't want to go to college right now, but you decide in a year or so after you do want to go to college. It's good to have that available to you and that you've already done well on it. Let's talk about how the test is laid out. So this test is just only 2 hours and 55 minutes. You start with English, 75 questions in 45 minutes. Then you go to math, 60 questions in 60 minutes. And then you get a break, you get a nice 10-minute break before you go to reading, 40 questions in 35 minutes, and science, which is also 40 questions in 35 minutes. There are other videos to talk about strategies for each of these sections, and we'll get into that later. But this is how the test is laid out. Let's keep going. Let's talk about how the ACT is scored. The ACT is scored on a scale of 1 to 36. 36 would be perfect on the ACT. Let's revisit that 21, because a 21 is extremely doable, and a 21 gets you $16,000. In order to get a 21 on the ACT from the English section, you just have to get 60% of the questions correct, which means 45 out of 75 questions. A 60% to get a 21, so doable. Math is only a 50%. If you get a 50% on the math section, you made a 21 on the ACT. Reading and science, you need to get 55% of the questions correct in order to get that 21. Let's say you want to get higher than a 21 and your goal is you want to get a 30 on the ACT. You can also go to our ACT Canvas course and look at scale scoring to figure out how many questions you would have to get correct on every section in order to get the score that you want. Up next, what should you bring on test day? Now, if you are a junior or a senior coming to our school test day, these are the things that you need to bring. You need to bring a calculator, a mask, water, snacks, and a photo ID. Now you can't access the water and snacks during the whole test, but it'll be great for break. If you don't have a photo ID, let us know and we have teachers there to verify your ID. Calculator, you do have to make sure it's approved a calculator. You can check that on our ACT Canvas course or send us a message. You only get to use that on the math section. Let's say you are going to a national test day. So you are not testing just with our school, you're taking the ACT, you've registered separately. You will also have a testing ticket. So you'll also have a testing ticket. If you are a sophomore taking the pre-ACT, you do not have to bring a photo ID with you on that day. If you want to register for an ACT outside of what we offer as a school, which we would highly recommend, you should definitely take the ACT more than just us with the school. To register for that, you can go to our ACT Canvas course and there's information on how to register, or it's something you can also Google. You will need our school code though, and that is on the ACT Canvas course. You can start testing now. So you can take the ACT between your 9th grade and your 12th grade year, so the entire time that you are in high school. You can take the ACT up to 12 times. However, scores typically do plateau after about 6 times. you do have to pay to take the ACT. So if you are on free or reduced lunch, you can take the ACT for free. All you have to do is contact the school and tell them that you want an ACT waiver, and we will get you a waiver to take the test for free. If you are registering on a national test date, you might have the option to get what we call a TIR report. If that's an option, make sure you do it. It will give you a complete report of every question that you answered, and did you get it correct or incorrect? And if you get a TIR, please share it with us so that way we can go over your score together and how you did. Thank you guys so much for listening to some different things about the ACT. If you have any other questions, message us and let us know. But check out the ACT Canvas page. There's a lot of resources on there for you. There's test prep, how to register, test anxiety strategies, and more.